There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was privacy. The winds blew hard and fear dipped down below me, crypto boys blow. She'd not been but 2 years from shore when her value it began to soar. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto, gold and rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Treasure and go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto, gold and rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. No chain was cut, no block was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the pirate's creed and took those bankers in tow. For fear days to be no more, the crypto sank then rose once more. Coins were lost, yet we do endure, and still that system did go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto, gold and rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the chain's not cut and the block's not gone. We pirates make our regular call, we're with the captain, the crew and dawn. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto, gold and rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go.
What's up, everyone? Hope everyone is having a good Wednesday. As you all know, I'm Captain Traith, and this is the monthly meeting update. So I'll be going over some of the stuff that's been going on for the past month since the last monthly update, for those of you who are here for the first time. And yeah, let's get this thing kicked off. Yep. So the first thing on my list of things to talk about is the integration of WARR, and actually I'll go over that first. Let me switch gears real quick. So yeah, the integration of WARR into the Pirate Chain family, which WARR, for those who don't know, which I would hope everyone knows by this point, is the tokenized version of ARRR on Binance Smart Chain. The reason why this is significant is because it allows users on BSC or Binance Smart Chain to exit that platform privately, right? So I'm not going to go into the details of, what it is and all this other stuff aside from that, because, I've talked about it at length for a long, long time. But cool thing is that there's approximately 200,000 WARR in circulation, meaning people have converted ARRR to WARR to provide liquidity on PancakeSwap. So users on BSC can trade for WARR, and if they want to privatize their funds, they can convert that WARR back to ARRR because it's 1-to-1. So that launched last month, and I do have an update on that actually, because I am debating on recreating the staking contract. Reason for this is because even though it's very similar to most other staking contracts out there, because it's a pool fund, that when you claim rewards, it pulls from that pool. Some users have been complaining because they see the rewards fluctuating and blah, 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 which understandable, especially if you don't have that much liquidity provided. So what I'm tempted to do is recreate the staking contract and basically make it individualized reward addresses. Now, what this does is basically it divvies out all of the rewards to the stakers, and this way there's no pool, so the rewards don't fluctuate. However, the downside of this is that if there's several people claiming and things like that, or people claiming constantly, stuff like that, it could increase, or actually will increase, the gas required to claim. So for those users who don't have much staked, you know, basically, it'll be an increase in cost for you to claim. But at the same time, that won't really matter too much because you can just leave them there, leave your stake there, and let it just be for months on end, and then come back and stake once, or not stake, claim once, and then you can just get all your funds that way. Or just wait. If you want it right away, you can just wait until not many people are claiming. So I'm tempted to do that because I'll probably be doing the same thing for NLife as well. So that will directly translate over to Pirate 2 because it's basically the same type of contract. Tim, do you want to go over the marketing stuff?
Yeah, sure. 1 second. So basically, last month, one of the most important things that happened is that Zulu and Wookie organized the Pirate NFT competition. So we had a lot of submissions to that competition. We had a lot of people contributing with really, really good art. But at the end, we had to make a decision, and we had to choose 3 people from all that very good work that we saw. So at the end, Sems, Corsair, and Gilly Bates, they won the Pirate NFT competition. And as far as I know, they're in the process right now of creating the rest of their series so that Zulu and Wookie can kick off with the sale. The other thing that we had happening was that we had a Talk Like a Pirate Day. So this is like an international day, and lots of people on Twitter, they tend to sort of take up on this and do it. So we had a small reward, and we had a lot of postings from a lot of social media because we ran it pretty much everywhere. But it was one submission at the end that really stood out from the rest. And again, the very creative mind of Sems the Pirate won that competition. He wrote a really nice piece with, if somebody has it, can you please post it in the chat so people can see it. The other marketing initiative that we have had going in September and still now is the music competition. So the music competition ended in terms of submissions, but we're now in the middle of the period of voting. So we have one channel in Discord that you can vote for your favorite track, or you can go to YouTube and enter some emojis. If you check the announcements, all the information in there is there on how you can vote for the music competition. It is really worth taking a few minutes to go and do it because the artists obviously they spend a lot of their time and energy in creating those to support Pirate. The music competition has given us quite a lot. It has become the most popular section of our YouTube channel, and it has managed, I think, to to spread the word for Pirate Chain to many people who otherwise would have never come across it. In terms of activity, we have grown further in our social media. So we are now at about over 65,000 followers across all of our platforms. And also our traffic was in good stead last month. We had nearly around 30,000 visits. All of our social media still keeps growing, and we have to thank the army for all the work that they're doing in helping us, spread the word out there, as well as many other people who are working in the background to promote Pirate Chain.
Cool. Anything else?
I think that was mostly for me.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
All righty. So we were involved in the TCV summit a couple weeks back or a week back, something around there. Me and Forge represented Pirate. We talked about the case for privacy. For those of you who are members of TCV and weren't able to attend the summit, highly recommend you checking it out. We talked about various things, including ways that your privacy are being infringed upon, or things that officials or authorities can do to just take your stuff, and why it's important for people to have any sort of privacy. And talked about the stats behind Pirate Chain, what it is, and how it works, and why it's the most private thing out there, and so forth. So that was a really great meeting, in my opinion. A great summit that we were involved in. So shout out to TCV for inviting us and having us on. So that was fantastic. One other thing that people are going to be excited about is we are in the process of releasing a test version of our new wallet, of the full node wallet. We need testers. So if you'd be interested in testing the new version of the wallet, please let Cax or Tim know, and they'll hook you up with the test version of the wallet. Make sure that if you use your current wallet file, your wallet.dat, to back it up. Also, make sure you back up your seed phrase, back up your private keys, which is always important anyways. I can't stress that enough, because literally that's how you lose your money. So if you don't back anything up and something happens, you're bound to lose your funds. So always make sure to back up your stuff. But we need people to test the wallet, whether it's your existing wallet address or a clean wallet, like a brand new wallet. The big thing about this that people will be excited about is that Forge has finally been able to figure out how to implement a password on the wallet and encrypt it. So this enhances user security, because even if somebody steals your wallet file, they can't get your funds. So this is a big deal, because this is not something that I don't think has been done yet by Zcash themselves. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think they've been able to do this yet. So this is actually a first, which is amazing. And like I said, Forge is here. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I want to make sure that everything I say obviously is factual. So so we definitely need testers for that. So if we can have at least a dozen or two people or more, come forward and want to test it, like I said, contact Cax or Dream Tim, and they'll get you set up. Next thing on the list of things that happened last month, or between last month and now, is the halving. Halving is always a non-event, but we still like to celebrate it every time it happens because it's fun. And as usual, nothing changed really. It's just reward halved, so now it's 16 ARRR per block reward. And it's just a cool thing to celebrate. Nothing major. It's just, like I said, a non-event really, but it's just fun. So, so that happened, and also the code audit is coming up soon. There's going to be 2 parts to it. We still need an additional 15K for the first part. The first part is the threat assessment and architecture review. And then the second part that comes after that is the actual code review of the code that was decided in part 1. So we're still short 15K for the first part. So if there's anybody that wants to donate, and that'd be extremely generous of you. Because as usual, we don't have a war chest, obviously. And as everyone knows, there's no dev tax, there's no, dev funds, nothing like that. We rely on donations. So if anybody could step up and donate to the cause to help out everybody, that'd be freaking awesome. By the way, Tim, did you talk about the tip.cc or no? I forgot if you did.
No, I don't think we spoke about that.
Okay, cool. So massive shout out to Tovar. This is what the first thing I was going to talk about, but figured I'd talk about war first because it directly relates to war. So tip.cc, war is now integrated into that. And for those of you who don't know what tip.cc is, it's a Discord tip bot, and it's actually a pretty large one. So thanks to Tovar, she got us integrated into that. So now anybody who wants to have TipBot in their own server or whatever can utilize tip.cc for war. And tip.cc is really simple to implement and run. So there's a lot of servers out there that could just implement war right off the bat and utilize the tipping service with war. So it's a great functionality for that. On top of that, we have the a few new game releases that happened between last time and now. We had Caribbean Stud Poker, which released Friday of last week. We had Crafts and we had Slots that also released earlier last month. And there's been a massive amount of usage on them, which is fantastic. I've heard a lot of great things from users of the Caribbean Stud Poker. So, it's just great overall to hear that. One thing that I was contemplating doing was basically allowing or integrating war into that as well. So you can deposit ARRR or war into the casino, and it's the same thing, because it is actually the same thing, technically. So that's something to look forward to as well, potentially in the future. Aside from that, I think that's all of the updates. Am I missing anything, Tim?
I do not think so. We discussed the code audit, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything sort of major left. Maybe something about the army and the work they do in social media.
Well, I mean, you are directly involved with them, so you can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, so basically, I just want to give a shout out to the army and all those people that are helping with social media, and they help to push the message out in many different ways. I mean, everybody is doing whatever they can. Other people are posting, others are retweeting. We have this wonderful team of people that create creative constantly, which is very on point, and very descriptive of what we're doing. We have sort of people doing memes all the time. And there's just like this coordinated effort by these people that want nothing but to help, not just pirate chain, but everybody get privacy for themselves. So this is what everybody's doing here. They're not trying to to get filthy rich. They're just trying to help others, and that's why I think it was worth to give them a shout, and to acknowledge all the work they're doing. I mean, they're there night and day. Anytime I get into Discord, somebody's there, and if I need help with something, they usually jump up and help. So it's fantastic to see that kind of dedication and that kind of effort, and it just makes me feel that with these people behind us, there's no way that pirate is not going to get where we all know that it needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. And oh yeah, so the atomic decks, we should be listed on that in the next update. So the next update, or the next round of updates for the atomic decks, should be integrating pirate chain as well. So that's going to be something to look forward to too. But yeah, aside,
Should we take some questions from the socials?
that's literally what I was going to say. So
cool.
yeah, go for it.
So I think that's a question we had in the previous time. So Dave Mazzoni from YouTube is asking, when are we going to see pirate chain on Thorchain?
So the thing about that, there's two things. One I learned recently, and the other, actually recently being several hours ago. And another thing is that I haven't looked into it personally, to be honest. And another thing is that I've learned that they've been hacked several or quite a few times already. So I'm not sure of the extent of those hacks and what they actually did. But I do know that a shit ton of funds were stolen. So yeah, I'm not too sure about integrating with Thorchain. I mean, I keep hearing about it, but I don't know. I really don't know. There needs to be a lot more research and due diligence on my end personally for me to actually make an actual opinionated statement on it. So
Okay, so Johnny C on YouTube is saying that R was a Berwick scam, and I'm glad I only bought a few hundred. If I remember correctly, haven't people been calling us a scam since 2018?
yeah, pretty much, because
They're still waiting for us to exit scam or reveal that we are a scam, or anything scam like, has never come out of pirate chain ever. But they still think that that's the case. But yes, if you have bought really high, and the price hasn't been to the level that you've bought at, then you feel like you've been scammed, right?
yeah, that's typically what happens when people lose money or they don't understand the technology, or all they do is read FUD and then just go along with it and do no research whatsoever. So that's typically what happens.
I mean, if we were really scammers, we're pretty long term, aren't we? I mean,
Jesus
most
Christ.
scammers would have given up by now, right? Long time.
Yeah, with the amount of blood, sweat, and tears and hours we've all put behind this project, Jesus Christ, man. Basically, if this was a scam, I'm scamming myself. No, that's the stupidest statement I've ever heard. Is that, oh, pirate chain is a scam? Really? Yeah, tell me about the technicals. Tell me about all the work that's gone behind the scenes to push this project forward. All the sacrifices we've made to actually make this a successful project and push it to where it is today. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me about all that.
Well, I guess Rick Rygers is making a point. He says, how is it a scam if you bought at 5 cents when they really recommended it, you'd be a millionaire by now? And that's probably the situation. I mean, the thing is that when the price started rising and rising and rising, more and more people found out about Pirate. And that was a great thing. But they found out, when that spike was happening. So, that took a lot of people sort of a little bit by surprise because they thought that the spike is going to go on forever.
Yeah. Well, and here's another thing too, is that when a project rises from the ground to where we are now, it threatens other projects. Well, it supposedly threatens other projects because even though we see other privacy coins as essential, like Monero is absolutely essential, the work that they do, the progress that they've made, and the importance of them as an OG privacy coin cannot be understated. But when other privacy projects come and rise up that are actually solid, like Pirate Chain, some people take that as a threat to their investment. So they try to create random FUD and just try to spread it as hard as possible to just have that effect on that of the project because they feel personally threatened. And basically,
really,
the thing is, though, let me say this one thing before you say anything. One other thing, too, is that those people who feel threatened don't give two shits about privacy. You want to know how I know that? It's because literally they should be wanting additional privacy coins out there for options. Sticking all your eggs in one privacy option is never a good thing.
well, if you have only one privacy coin and that gets compromised, then what do you have? Then you have chaos.
You have a
Whereas
surveillance coin at that point.
well, yeah, so essentially if you have multiple coins and one gets compromised, then you have another one to go to. If there's only one, then that becomes a very easy target. And then, if that gets compromised, then it's game over. So that
Yeah,
is
and
basically centralization. It's the definition of centralization.
yeah, and on top of that too, you have to realize this, right? You can't just be like, well, all right, fine, I'll just separate myself into multiple projects. Then I'll do, Monero, I'll do Wownero, I'll do Darrow, blah 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 blah. They're all the same technology. You have to diversify into multiple technologies because if Ring CT gets compromised, you're fucked 5 different ways. So literally, keep yourself safe and make sure that, yeah, if you hold Pirate Chain, I would expect you to hold Monero too. If you hold Monero, I would expect you to hold Pirate Chain as well because it's completely separate technologies that work completely different from one another. So if one gets fucked, the other doesn't. And that's how you protect yourself.
So wait, I didn't like what you said about the forks before because I was planning to launch Pirate Nero. I shouldn't do it anymore.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, so calling yourself an up and coming privacy coin when you literally have pretty much the exact same stats as the ones before you doesn't make you any different. The reason why Pirate Chain is different from Zcash is because we're fully private, unlike them, which is, they have optional privacy. And that's not something that you want to mess with because that'll compromise your own privacy. As you can tell, we're very, very heavy into privacy at Pirate Chain, and this is something that we hold dear to us. And we're not going to steer people in the wrong direction and say, "Oh no, don't invest in Monero because Pirate Chain is better." Yeah, we're encrypted, therefore we're not off. I can never say the word. Basically, we're not shuffled. We're encrypted. So it's not obscure or whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it as, because I can't say it. I'm worked up right now because things like this pisses me off. So,
Okay, I mean, yeah, one of the things that sort of had an impression on me when I joined Pirate Chain is that when I started sort of getting involved with the marketing of it, people, made a huge deal about never saying that we have 100% anonymous transactions, and they always made me put the word in 100% peer-to-peer
yep.
anonymous transactions. And there's a simple reason for that, which obviously I learned later, which is that if you send that transaction to an exchange, to a centralized exchange, especially, or any other form of centralized entity, then it slightly compromises that sort of privacy that you might have had if you were just sending it from one wallet to another, sort of one friend to another, or one online acquaintance to another. So, that's sort of testament that people do take their stuff very seriously, and they take very seriously how we say stuff, because then, you know, people's security depends on us, right? If we give them the wrong instructions and they do the wrong thing, then their privacy can be compromised, and that can have devastating effects on their lives.
And not only that, too, even if we weren't on any centralized exchanges and never had to deal with any of that, the mining reward, the block reward still goes to a transparent address for accountability purposes. After that, it has to go to a shielded address. So, factually speaking, that part is transparent for validity. So you can actually validate the block rewards coming out of each block. Aside from that, everything else is shielded going from one address to another, right? So that's why it's important to say we're completely anonymous with our peer-to-peer transactions. So anything I send to another person, nobody else can see.
Your sound quality is not very good, Milk.
Sorry.
No, you keep breaking up. Maybe try a different connection or a different device or something. Jamie Hillier Rubis on YouTube is saying, "You've done so well, guys. Thanks for your efforts. More funds coming from this kid in the next Alts bull run as promised." Dave Mazzoni is asking if we will see integration with other wallets like Exodus or Cake.
We're still working on those fronts. So they're ultra busy, so it's hard to get a hold of them. Cosius has been pinging the guys from Cake, so I don't have any updates on that, unfortunately, but I do know that we've been working, trying to get in touch with them and push things forward.
Okay, can we reveal any deals we've made with third-party wallets or not? Probably not.
No, there was nothing that they explicitly said that we can't talk about. But I'd rather ask their permission first before we say anything.
Well, what I'm trying to say is we are in the background working on something, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're always working on something.
Yeah.
But yeah, specifically when it comes to, all right, fine. I'll just say this. When it comes to a wallet and swaps, yes, we're currently working on stuff. And it's going to be first for War and then eventually for R. That I'm not going to name who it is or what it is or whatever, but that's what I can say. And no, it's not atomic swaps. It's something else. Actually, no. There's only a few people that actually do know about that. So. What other questions we got?
Okay, give me a second to check. V Hageman is saying, you guys have done a great job. Keep up the hard work. I haven't found a project with more dedicated and smarter people. I'm only a college student, but I know I have an avenue to secure my privacy.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. I forgot about this before for the updates. So, I want to give a massive shout out to again, because I've already given him a shout out before, to Benny. Benny has been working tirelessly trying to set up events and get involved in a bunch of different things and try to promote Pirate Chain on the ground. And there's not enough I can say about the guy that he just works day in and day out for Pirate Chain, trying to get us promoted in various ways in person. So huge shout out to him. Dude is a badass. I think Tim coined him Hollywood. So for the fact that he's just doing so many big things for us. So
He does big productions. He likes to, I mean, everything is perfect, everything is shiny, everything is in its place, and there is not much more you could have done. That's what Ben is all about.
exactly. What else we got?
Uh, I'm not too sure I can see anything else. I don't know if we have something on Discord, Love at Milk. Oh, I can't hear you very well at all still.
Yeah, you're choppy.
Okay, David Stardust from Twitch is asked. He's saying it would be nice to be able to buy ARRR directly using XMR.
Yeah, we've actually been I've been talking directly to the guys over at Polarity, so like Wolf and Tony and them, and because I'm actually really close with them now. So one of the things I've been talking to them about is making an XMR to R pair. So that I know they're really busy with a bunch of other stuff, but that's something that has been brought up several times. That I'll make sure eventually it does get integrated. So I mean, they don't have. If you notice on Polarity, they don't have any exotic pairs. So that'll be the first exotic pair that they have. So I'll make sure to keep pushing on that end. Oh, Tim, is there anything that's BPSAA related that Pirates involved in currently in terms of events or anything? So I know that you're hosting the podcasts and stuff.
Well, not. I mean, apart from me being there, not directly at the moment. I mean, we did. The first podcast of the BPSA was about financial privacy, and of course, Wookie was there, and I was there, and we had like a good chat with Ruben from the Fire Project about all that stuff. But yes, no, the podcasts we've done since then, we've done one for smart contracts right now, which we're going to do a second part of, and we're starting to get quite a few guests there, so that's panning out pretty cool. But yeah, we don't have in the next 2 or 3 something planned specifically for Pirate Chain, but definitely, after we complete the cycle of all the projects of the BPSA being in a podcast, then they'll be able to also go back to the subjects that concern pirate chain and then do, a couple of them that are, dedicated to that. But because there is, still a little bit doubt about, what BPSA is and, why pirate chain is involved and why we're spending time there, I just wanted to say that, BPSA helps us do a bunch of things. So one of the things it helps us do is to make sure that we make deals with entities. So if you're an organization like Pirate Chain, which is not a company, doesn't have offices, doesn't have, it's not registered with any government, or, doesn't really exist in that domain, then you can't make deals with real life businesses, because real life businesses are asking for names. They're asking not for, for handles of, and nicknames. They're asking for real names, for real addresses, and, for fiat money in some cases. And, in many cases, there is also a level of a certain KYC process, which, Pirate Chain doesn't do. So very, very kindly, the BPSA, and I'm not, in the board of directors, has taken that responsibility to help Pirate Chain to get through to these deals, to get these articles in the media, to be able to put a mobile wallet on the own Android store, to be able to, very importantly, sign agreements with exchanges. 'Cause, if we don't have that ability, then how are we going to get on more exchanges? So that's why, the BPSA, there's a big part of it that it's there for, but also it is a place where, there's a lot of people who work in blockchain, who, have a lot of very good ideas. And, when we see very good ideas there, we bring them back to the project. And I guess that's exactly what they do. So it's an exchange of ideas on top of, all the support and, and really practical solutions that the BPSA offers.
How about now, Tim? Any better?
Oh, you're so much better now.
Awesome. Sorry, I don't know what was going on.
I'm sure it wasn't your fault.
No, I just wanted to say real quick, just a huge thank you to everybody that participated in the remix competition. It was an awesome privilege to be able to work on the original song and then submit my own remix. So I just wanted to, again, just thank everybody for participating and everybody that's ever been able to enjoy the music.
I mean, I had so much fun. Okay, I know that some people got sick of listening to the songs, but really something happened, and every time we got a new submission, I kept on listening to it like 3 or 4 times. I mean, I've listened to all the tracks, God knows how many times now. I mean, it's so many times. It's probably sad, but yeah, it was a really enjoyable experience, and I think, a really amazing music as well. Some people produced.
Yeah, some just really amazing, talented people. So that's the cool part about this, right? Is the community involvement. That's the real win, the real takeaway from all this.
Oh, and also well, I don't know how to put this, but some guy, mentioned there that he was going to use your track to have his next child.
That's right. I remember reading that comment. Yeah, that's on YouTube.
So that means that we got new members with the music competition. Fresh.
That's right. Fresh pirate spawn. That's awesome. No, I was trying to tell you earlier, Drath, obfuscated was the word you were trying to say.
You can tell me the word a million times, I still can't say it. I don't know why. I mean, it took me like a year. It took me a year to say anonymity, so it's probably going to take me a year to say the word.
I have trouble with that one too. That one's a tongue twister.
Yeah, me no good with English.
Okay, anonymity is easy because onoma in Greek is the name. A is the the negative. So anonymity means without a name.
Well, look at you being all smart.
No, it's just it's a Greek word.
Awesome.
What else we got?
I think that's just
there any-
about it. I'm not too sure.
Any new competitions coming up? Anything else that's on the horizon?
I'm just somebody asking integration with Apollo Wallet, but I assume that that's slightly stuck on the technicals.
Bear back a second.
So basically, I mean, the way I understand it, at least, the problem we have with wallets, with hardware wallets right now, is that all the wallets that exist in the market, they don't have enough memory to be able to handle the transactions that Pirate Chain produces. So it's kind of a hardware issue. So unless we either manage to incredibly optimize the chain, or they manage to produce a much stronger hardware, um, to me it sounds unlikely that anytime soon we're going to have that. I think for war it's far easier, but for R, I think there might be some time to go. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, from everything I've heard and talked to Forge, that's pretty much. There's not enough either memory or processing power to compute those transactions. We're just that badass. It's just how it is. We're just a little ahead of the curve.
But I think it's also part of the price you pay for the privacy aspect. So there are extra computations that need to happen in order for the privacy to be secured, and that's what makes the chain sort of heavier. Somebody's asking, Rick Rigers from YouTube is asking, how about an R stable coin?
Well, that could definitely get us in a lot of hot water if we were to do something like that, because um, basically the creators of that would probably be arrested right away. So, but in but aside from that, it's I think Haven did something like that, but their stuff's jacked up right now. So, I mean, we could do something, but it I don't know.
It'd be pretty risky.
Very risky for one, and two, you would need actual capital for that. I don't think
That's
a
the
lot of
other
people
big
realize.
part.
I don't think a lot of people realize that when you create a stable coin, you have to have the actual fiat value of that stable coin backed up. That's why there was such a big controversy with Tether back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean like maybe about 2 years ago, and also maybe I think a year ago as well, that they didn't have all the fiat value to back up the amount of tether that was in circulation. So you need a massive, massive amount of fiat to cover all of that. And that's something that we don't have.
And I think the accounting behind all that too, I think was in question.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of sketchy shit that was going on. So yeah, I highly doubt that that would ever happen.
Okay, if anybody wants to ask a question from the audience in Discord, at least raise your hand and we'll bring you up to talk. Yeah, so basically, customers want service. It's a funny nickname. Says that ARRR, XMR on Polarity would be amazing. Enric Reigers, which asked the question about the stablecoin, he says, I'm just dreaming, still looking for a good one. And Dave Mazzoni says that fiat-backed
If I
stablecoin.
remember, good.
So Dave Mazzoni says that fiat-backed stablecoins are toast. They're going to be crypto-backed in the future.
I could see that. Also, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ergo is making a stable coin, aren't they? And they're zk-SNARKs based.
I think so. Jamie Higlia-Rubis is asking, would a small increase in our gas fees help the cash flow? They seem very low, just saying.
Well, the transaction fees don't actually, they don't pay us. They go to, blocks or miners, so it doesn't help the team at all for an increase in transaction fees. So
So what you're saying, it wouldn't help. Maximilian Von is asking, is there a way to get the R wallet on the Hub Cloud presented at the TCV Summit?
I'd have to look into that. I don't know much about it. I wasn't there for that long. I was there for our presentation. That was it because of my availability.
Do we have any updates on the iOS release of our wallet?
Actually, I think. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Satinder's working on a version. It's not the mobile wallet we have now. It's a different version that's specifically for iOS.
I think there are two efforts behind iOS. One that we can talk about that I think Satinder is making, like Draith just said, and one that we cannot talk about yet. So there's possibly iOS support coming from two sides, but we don't have any dates yet.
That's good. At least we know it's on the horizon.
Been on the horizon for a while. It's just a pain.
Yep.
Did you mention the Pirate Casino? I think you did, right?
What's that?
Did you mention the Pirate Life Casino?
Yep.
Okay.
Are we? Is there any new games that are coming down the pipe, Draith, as far as the casino goes?
Big Wheel 6.
Okay.
It's still in development though on the end life side. So
How many months before R is on Edge?
nah, it shouldn't be too long. That's all I can say. I don't know about time period, but I know that a lot of stuff on their end has been worked out. So things shouldn't take too long. In terms of length, your guess is as good as mine, but I know it shouldn't be that long.
Then Saris Seras is asking any form of NFT in mind for R. I mean, maybe you didn't hear it before, but when, as we said in sort of towards the beginning of the meeting, Wookie and Zulu organized a pirate NFT competition that was won by Sam Scorser and Gilly Bates. So once these guys are finished with their series, there should be a sale, which part of the proceeds will go back to Pirate Chain. So that's kind of like one of the initial ideas, but there's also other ideas to do NFT series with other projects. Reverend Fry says something about Malaysia, but I'm not too sure what he means. Yeah, so NFTs are on the horizon, to answer your question there. So Dave Mazzoni is asking if R is used on the dark web yet.
My answer will always be the same. I can neither confirm nor deny anything.
Yeah, go ask the dark web.
I think what goes on down there stays down there, so who knows?
All right, let's take two more questions and then we'll head out because it doesn't seem like there's many more questions left.
I don't have any more, to be honest. I don't have any more on YouTube. Oh, okay. So Duck B asked if there's a mobile wallets upgrade in sight.
Personally, what I'd like to do is to dedicate more resources, if we can find them, to the further development of the UI of the mobile wallet. So the backend works great. Maybe a few tweaks here and there are needed, if anything, but potentially in the future, I'd like to see a couple UI developers start working on it and make it look awesome. I mean, it really looks clean and great, but what I have noticed is that on certain phones, sometimes the graphics don't look right or it gets cut off and things. So I do know that further development needs to be made on the mobile wallet itself, but that'll come sometime in the future. I don't know when, but personally, I'd like to try to get something out by December, I'll say. But like I said, that's a guess, but that's something I'm going to try and aim for. But don't hold me to that.
Some people are asking if TransferWise is KYC. I don't even know what TransferWise is.
Not a clue. All right, one more question. Who's got it? Going once,
Okay,
going twice.
there is a question in from Cobra in Discord. Does the new encryption in the full node wallet provide protection from ISPs performing DPI to detect pirate?
That is a Forge answer. I have no idea how to answer that. So Forge would know best on that, to be honest. And I don't think he's here. So what I would do is, for that specific question, go in the Parachain chat, tag Forge, and ask him that, and see what he says. All right. So let's go ahead and close this out if there's nothing else. We good on the questions, Tim?
No, I don't think there is much more there. No, that's it.
Cool. All right. Well, appreciate everyone showing up. Thanks for all the questions and listening to the updates and everything like that. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will catch you all next time.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was privacy. The winds blew hard and fear dipped down below me, crypto boys blow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. She'd not been but 2 years from shore when her value it began to soar. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. Before the boat had hit the water, bankers came but never caught her. All in sync we hid and fought them, then they began to know. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. No chain was cut, no block was freed, and the captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the pirate's creed and took those bankers in tow. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. For fear days to be no more, the crypto sank, then rose once more. Coins were lost, yet we do endure, and still that system did go. Soon may the pirate chain come to bring us crypto golden rum. One day when the system is done, we'll take our treasure and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on, the chain's not cut, and the block's not gone. We pirates make our regular call, we're with the captain of